Hello and welcome everyone. In this video, as promised, I will be summarizing a previous video about how to use ollama in JavaScript. If you want to check the full video, I will put the link in the description below so you can go to it. Before that, maybe you want to check this short summary. In my series about front-end development, I showed 3 ways how to use ollama in JavaScript. One way was backend, so running JavaScript using Node on the server side. And then I showed 2 methods how to use it in the browser. And let me start in this video first by summarizing how to use ollama on the server side. I now already opened the repository from that video. So you can see here I have this index.js. I will click on it, and in this index.js I showed how you can use ollama using node.js. So first thing you want to use here is actually to use npm init. I will not run this command because it's already run. And then you want to install ollama, so npm I ollama, and that will install the required ollama libraries inside this node models here. And that's it basically. So you only need to import ollama, and then you can do a chat or generate or pull or apply all available ollama command. Let me test this. So as you can see here, we are using llama 3.2 with 1 billion parameter, and we are asking why is the sky blue, and then we are printing the content of the response. So let me run that using node index.js, and let me make this bigger here. And you can see here it's now talking about the scattering and giving us the answer back. And this was how to use ollama using node.js. Now let's go to the browser. For the browser, I showed that using 2 methods. The first one directly using fetch. So let's start with that. So for this method, you don't need to install any ollama libraries. You only need to run this HTML in your web browser. In this HTML, as you can see, I'm doing everything from scratch. So here I have the URL where I call ollama. So I will be calling ollama on the local host on this port here, and I will be using the chat API. So that would be similar to this one here, this API here, which we used previously. And this would be the main function here where I send the request. So this request will take the input string, which would be the question, for example, why sky is blue, and a callback function. Here I'm using streaming. So this callback function will be run for every token we get from ollama. So as you can see here, I'm preparing the body of the request. Here I will be using fetch, so that's why a body. And in this body, we also put the model, the message, where you can see we have a role and the content. So this will be our question. And then here we have stream to true. That will be asking ollama to send us every token. And this token will be sent as a JSON object. Here we have also the request options. It's a post request. That's because we are using the body here. And there are some headers here that we are accepting JSON and sending JSON. And the body would be a stringify from our body parameter here. Then as you can see, we have the fetch command that will return to us a stream back from ollama. And then we need to decode this stream, and that's why we have this function here called read all chunks. As you can see, it has a text decoder, and then we are getting the reader from this text decoder, and we are looping till the stream is done. And every time we read the token, we decode it, and then we split it using the new line character. Each one of these splitted part will represent a token, basically one token from the LLM model output, and that would be represented, as I said, by JSON. That's why we're parsing it, and then we get the message content exactly as we saw here. And then we call our callback function, and that's it. And the rest of the code here is 2 parts. One part is for displaying the result, and one part for handling the input. So let me run this. It runs on the second screen. Let me bring it here. So this is the HTML page. It's very simple. It has only this input area where we have the default question set to why is the sky blue. And then I can press enter, and the result will start appearing here. As you can see, we already got the same response as before. That's the second way of using ollama using JavaScript, and the first how to use it in the browser. So let's go now to the second one. And the second method is implemented inside this file here called ollama using ollama.js. And for that, we will be using the ollam.js browser API. And that API, I got it from inside this node model here. I went inside ollama, then distribute, and then inside shared. And here we have this ollama CGS. So I took this file here and I updated the header here and the footer here of this file. So let's go to the updated version. This is this ollama updated.js here. So let me open it. Let me close the original one. And here, as you can see, I just commented these first 2 lines. And then here in the footer, I assigned the ollama and the browser, the head and post to the window.ollama. So I can call them inside my JavaScript using window.ollama. or just ollama since this is assigned to the window. Now let's go back to the HTML file. So the HTML file is similar to the previous one. It has only a text area and a div where the results will appear. And then as you can see, we are including this ollama updated.js, and we can now simply create a new ollama since this is a property of the window. Actually, this chat URL is not used, so I can comment it. Then we have this send request. Again, it takes input string and callback, and now we are making the message which has a role and the content as before, as we've seen also in the Python. And then we use this newly created object O, and then chat, and we pass our message, and we have stream put to true. So we get a response, and for this response we can iterate on it using this await, and every time we take the message.content and we append it to our string, and then we do the callback. That's similar to what we've seen before, so we are doing the callback every time we get this new token. The rest is still the same as before, so we have a part for displaying the result and part for handling the input. So let's run now this page. Let me save first and then open with live server. So we get this page now, ollama using ollam.js, and again we have why is the sky blue. Press enter and we get the response. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see the full tutorial, you can click on the link you will see on the screen, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.